Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy, and today, as you can see, I'm going to be bringing you guys a little bit of tabletop gameplay, showing off a few new decks from the upcoming Lost Origin set. So over there on the left, you have yours truly. I'm going to be playing the brand new Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR deck. And over there on the right, we have a buddy of mine, Corey Niesemer. He was nice enough to help me put this video together for you guys today. He's going to be playing the brand new Hisuian Goodra VSTAR. So a little bit of a Hisuian Pokemon showdown we have going on here. And I think on paper, this matchup is kind of interesting because the Hisuian Zoroark deck is based around taking these big one-hit KOs, just knocking down anything that gets in its path. Whereas on the flip side, Goodra, it's a little bit weaker, doesn't hit for quite as much damage, but Goodra is all about denying those sorts of big one-hit KOs with its damage-reducing attack and some other different ways at reducing damage in this deck. So we'll have to see which one is going to come out on top between these two Hisuian Pokemon decks. And if you guys are curious about the list that we're going to be using in this video, I actually did deck profile videos for both of these decks already on the channel. So if you guys want to check those out as well, I'll have links to those videos down below in the description today. But it looks like Corey is having a little bit of trouble getting set up here. He's been taking a few mulligans, which it can happen. I think this list plays 9 basic Pokemon, maybe 10. I forget. No more than 10 though. But let's see if he can finally get himself a basic. He does not, so I think that's his 3rd mulligan, which is definitely not ideal. You don't want to give your opponent extra cards to start the game with. But no doubt he's going to be looking for a comfy to lead the game with, because this Goodra deck, it's actually playing the sort of like Lost engine that Giratina VSTAR decks are, kind of anticipating to play. And so definitely wanted to see if it could work in other decks as well. And it looks like Corey actually does have a pretty good opening hand. He did finally find himself a comfy. He also has a Battle VIP pass and some other goodies in there. And here you can see I forgot to lay out my prizes and almost drew my mulligans there before putting out my prizes. So just going to fix that real quick before we get going. Okay, let's see. Who is going to be going first? It looks like I'm going to be going first in this game here. So just going to lead the game with an Evolution Incense. So more likely going to be grabbing Gengar if I just had to bet. Yeah, so Gengar, pretty cool card for the Hisuian Zoroark deck. If it's in your discard pile, you may put it onto your bench and put 3 damage counters on it, which doesn't sound that great damaging your own Pokemon, but that's actually how we fuel our attacks with the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. So just going to toss that guy away right out the gate here. And it looks like I'm going to go for a second Zoroark V. Seems okay. Definitely want to get some attackers into play here. I definitely have quite a few cards in hand to work with. Looks like I have a couple Ultra Balls, so I could even think about Ultra Balling as well. I think there is consideration for trying to set up a Bidoof this turn. Or maybe even going for a second Gengar to toss away, but it looks like I am going to Ultra Ball. Going to get rid of a Research, and I think probably Ultra Ball. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think Bidoof would be a pretty good one. Yeah. So I just want to get my engine sort of set up and ready to go. But next turn, I'm threatening a lot of crazy shenanigans. I have double Zoroark VSTAR in hand. I've got the damage pump card to move some damage counters around. So my second turn is already looking really good. And kicking over to Corey's turn, he's starting off pretty well. He has his ideal starter right out the gate here, that brand new Comfy. It's very important card for this whole sort of Lost Zone engine. You get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You get to keep one and put the other card into the Lost Zone. And here he's opening with Battle VIP Pass to get more basics into play. So he's having, I think, a pretty good time here. It looks like he has to pick between a Water Energy and another Goodra. So it looks like he's going to opt to toss away the Goodra. So definitely needs to be careful about how many attackers he's going to have access to in this game. So here he's going to use that Radiant Greninja to draw a few more cards, and he's going to find the Colress's Experiment to find even more Pokemon to pitch away into the Lost Zone, or more cards to pitch away into the Lost Zone, I should say. But Colress, pretty cool card. Definitely helps again with this whole Lost Zone engine. You get to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, keep 3 and put 2 into the Lost Zone. And here Corey is going to retreat into his second Comfy and start getting that up and running as well. So he has another Comfy there, or an Ultra Ball he's going to take, but it looks like he's going to opt to toss away the Ultra Ball here. So he's going to play a Training Court, get that water energy back that he discarded with his Greninja, and he's going to quick ball the water energy away. I would imagine maybe for, it looks like another Goodra. That's cool. There is even some consideration to maybe going for Cramorant to try to get in some early chip damage here. But it looks like he just wants to set up a second Goodra. I think that's good too, though. But here he is going to go for the Scoop Up Net, promote a new Comfey. And okay, so he is going to, he found that Cramorant I was just mentioning, but he might even have to put that into the Lost Zone if he chooses to keep this Scoop Up Net that he has. Okay, but he's going to opt to actually keep the Cramorant instead. Okay, so you're just going to get an attachment down and pass. So really solid turn 1 for his deck, absolutely here. So right out the gate, just going to evolve into double Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR here. Okay, I'm going to get Gengar out of the discard pile, and that's going to allow it to get 3 damage counters on itself. And then I have this brand new damage pump card in hand. This will allow me to take 2 damage counters from one of my Pokemon and put it on my other Pokemon any way that I like. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR, it does 50 damage times the number of Pokemon you have with damage counters on them. So we're hitting for 150 currently. And here you guys can tell I'm a little bit conflicted. I could go for Boston. It looks like that is what I am going to choose to do. A little bit risky, but here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that VSTAR power on Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR to dump my hand and draw 7. So in a way, I was able to boss and research in the same turn. So I'm going to get down Gape Jaw Bog, or Gape Bog Jaw, or Gape Jaw Bog, sorry. Hard word to pronounce there. So this is going to allow me to damage some more Pokemon whenever I bench them. But I need one more Pokemon, or I need another damage pump if I want to be able to get this knockout here. And unfortunately, well, yeah, I do whiff, but I can evolution Incense to maybe grab a barrel. So that's an option at least, but this was definitely kind of a big whiff. Would have loved to have taken that easy KO on this Goodra and start putting on some serious pressure here, especially since I saw Corey actually lost zone away one of his Goodras already. So a little bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, Goodra is still kind of a hefty Pokemon. It's got a 3 retreat cost, so there's a chance Corey might not even be able to do much with this Goodra stuck in the active. So right out the gate, looks like he's going to use his Radiant Greninja to draw a few more cards here. And yeah, his deck doesn't have a whole lot going on with this Goodra stuck in the active, because he can't use those abilities on his Comfey. He might just have to attach to a bench Goodra and just pass. There is a world where he could choose to attack with the active Goodra. That is a possibility, but the math for the attack doesn't really work out well. Like, he would still have to 2-shot Zoroark with 2 Goodras, or with 2 Goodra VSTARs afterwards. So yeah, I think he's better off just attaching to the bench like that. So let's see what I'm gonna grab here. Looks like I'm thinking about getting another Hisuian Zoroark V. I think that's okay. I also could contemplate going for Manaphy, since I do know that Corey potentially could snipe some damage with the Radiant Greninja at some point. But instead, I'm just going to opt to just keep getting more attackers into play. So just debating what route I want to go here. Could Marnie, could Research. I think I have Boss's Orders in hand as well, but it looks like I'm just going to take the knockout here and just save this hand, since I have a few options for the next turn. So Corey's probably not happy he lost 2 prizes, but at least that Goodra's out of the way. He can start using those abilities with Comfey again. And really the number of cards he wants to get into the Lost Zone is 7. That's sort of the magic number for this deck, because once he does that, that Mirage Gate item card will finally come online and allow him to start accelerating some energies to his Hisuian Goodras here. So looks like he's going to get down that Cramorant as well. That could be a good attacker at some point here. Okay, it looks like he's debating. Okay, he's going to use that Radiant Greninja's ability. He also does have Colress if he wants to go that route. He also has a Boss's Orders. It looks like he's just going to retreat. Okay, so he's going to get rid of the Comfey. Definitely seems good here. I'm not sure how many cards he has in the Lost Zone at this point, but he could have been thinking about... He could have been thinking about trying to hit Mirage Gate so he could still boss, maybe? Not sure there. But it looks like he is going to go for an Ordinary Rod, getting back a Goodra and 2 energy here. And there we go. He's finally going to go for that Mirage Gate here. Okay, so that is going to allow him, since he has 7 cards in Lost, and he can get 2 energies of different types and attach them to his Pokemon in any way that he likes. So he's going to finally power up his Hisuian Goodra VSTAR here. And Goodra has this attack, if you guys aren't familiar with it. It's a Water Metal and a Colorless and does 200. So not the most damage in the world, but it is going to reduce damage done to it by 80 on your opponent's next turn. So let's see what he's also going to do here. He's going to get down another Goodra. Start attaching to that one. Okay, and he's just going to go for another Mirage Gate. So his board is popping off at this point. Looks like he just has the 1 water energy, but I think he has some other energies in hand. So he still will be able to power that one up at some point. And looks like he's just going to hit the Zoroark for 200 here. Okay, so looking at my hand, I definitely have some options. I can choose to attack into this Goodra. But it looks like I am just going to go for the boss's orders. And I do like this. I mean, I made the play after all. I do like it. So, but I like this better than attacking the VSTAR, because the VSTAR still has that VSTAR power where it can heal off all of the damage done to it. So this is going to allow us to get 2 prizes in the process. And now I'm only an escape rope plus boss's orders play away from being able to win the game. Because if I can play escape rope and my 3rd boss in the same turn, that will allow me to actually get around that damage reduction on this VSTAR. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here for how I want to close out this game. So it looks like Corey is starting to think about powering up Radiant Greninja. Maybe for some sniping action at some point. And he's going to go for that ability on Comfy. So going to get rid of, it looks like Hisuian Goodra VSTAR is not going to need another one of those at this point. Okay, it looks like he is going to chase down that Hisuian Zoroark. And he's just going to knock it out with the Cramorant here. Cramorant has an ability where if you have 4 cards or more in the Lost Zone, you can attack for free, and its attack does 110. So this is good because this does, you know, this doesn't put his Goodra in harm's way, but the issue he's going to run into at this point is if I knock out this Cramorant, I believe I still have access to another boss, and I still have Escape Rope in the deck. So it definitely puts a lot of pressure on Corey to hurry up and close out the game, as opposed to just attacking with Goodra last turn. So let's see what I'm going to do. Just going to research. You know, I kind of know what my game plan is to win at this point, so I'm just trying to dump my hand, draw aggressively into, that escape rope I need or that boss I need to close out this game. So right now I'm playing an Evolution Incense, I believe. Probably just going to grab Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. Okay, going to go for a barrel. Okay, I'm going to Ultra Ball it away. That makes sense. Along with another Gengar as well. So I'm just trying to thin as much as possible here. That way I can hit this escape rope or boss by the next turn. Okay, and looks like I do have an air balloon. I could contemplate getting that down to be able to draw more cards with the barrel. So, just trying to think where I want the air balloon. Looks like I'm going to commit it to the barrel and then just draw 2 here. So unfortunately, still no escape rope, still no boss. But going to take a knockout in this Cramorant, and I'm inching closer to taking this first game that we're going to play here. Looks like Corey is going to toss away, I think that was a boss's orders. That way he could grab that Fantina supporter card, which is really good now that he has his Goodra up and running. So let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he's going to use Lost Sweeper to get rid of a card from his hand and then put one of my tools into the Lost Zone. He's going to get rid of that Choice Belt. But yeah, now we're going to see the Fantina, and this is where Goodra can get a little bit scary. So if Corey has 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone, it's going to reduce damage done to it by Pokemon V on my next turn by 120. That combined with the 80 reduction from this attack means that, this Goodra is going to survive 2, 3, maybe even 4 turns because it still has that VSTAR power as well. Now, the issue Corey has, though, is my deck is getting very, very low, and it's going to be increasingly easy to draw into that boss's orders or that escape rope I need for game here. And if I can just play around this Goodra, you know, that's how I'm going to be able to win this one. So it looks like I'm going to switch. I'm just trying to play down my hand as much as possible here. And looks like I'm thinking about going for a Marnie. Okay. So it looks like I drew into some double turbo energies. That's fine. Not sure what I'm checking here in the discard. Could be trying to keep track of switching options, maybe. Okay, I'm just going to attach double turbo over there. That's cool. I don't think the attachment really matters too much because as long as I hit boss or escape rope, I'm just going to win the game anyways. Oh, and there's the escape rope, and that is going to be the game, guys. So, yeah, unfortunately, I can just take the easy knockout on the comfy here, and that is going to be the first game in the series. So, a little bit unfortunate for Corey because he finally, like, had his wombo combo going sort of at the end of the game there because he had Fantina, and he had another one to follow up with on the next turn. So, back to back, he was going to be taking minus 200 every turn. And like I said, he still had that V-Star power, but the issue was he gave up far too many easy prizes in the early game, and I was able to just kind of play around that big Goodra at the end there. But nevertheless, guys, we are going to do a best of 3 series, so Corey definitely still has a chance to bring it back and still take the series. You know, we played some games off camera as well, and the Goodra deck, you know, sometimes did give Zoroark the hands. You know, if Zoroark can't take these big one-shots or these cheap prizes, you know, it can't really take those big one-shots on Goodra, which is what makes Zoroark so appealing here. And I swear, Corey just cannot catch a break when it comes to these mulligans. So he is going to have to give me at least one mulligan here. He's going to shuffle back up. Just trying to see what I have in hand. Looks like I have a Radiant Hawlucha. That's not going to be too great in this matchup, but a couple double turbos, Ultra Ball, Research, etc. And yet again, another mulligan. Man, Corey, you got to learn to shuffle better, my dude. But also too, guys, while we're waiting for Corey to get up and running too, just a quick plug. If you guys like either of the playmats you see on screen in this video, they are actually for sale over at rarecandytcg.com. The like egg pattern playmat in particular, I believe, is 10% off right now at the time of recording. So if you guys want to show the channel some love and get some cool merch in the process, I'll have a link to those down below in the description too. And yikes, what's this, a third mulligan? I think this happened in both games. First game, I think Corey mulligan 3 times. Is that right? I forget. Oh my god. Or this is the second mulligan, I forget. But, you know, if Corey can at least get a good hand to start with, like if he can open with Comfy, you know, Battle VIP Pass or 2, he's not going to mind giving up those extra mulligan cards too much at least. Okay, and he does have Battle VIP Pass, and he has a Cramorant to lead the game with. Not Comfy, but it's still a Pokemon that's pretty easy to move from the active if need be. Okay, and right out the gate here, you can see he's just going to slap down that Battle VIP Pass. It's going to go for a Comfy and a Radiant Greninja here. And he has the Goodra on the bench as well, so he has like all of his most important Pokemon. At this point, he might just want another Comfy and another Goodra V, but other than that, he's got all of his major players on the field right now. But let's see, what else does he have in hand? He's just going to go for that Concealed Cards ability on Radiant Greninja, and like a boss, he hits a second Battle VIP Pass, so he's definitely not going to have any trouble getting going this turn. Now, he definitely still wants a way to switch into his Comfy. He could just hard retreat into it. That's an option, but if he has a switching card, that would also work fine too. So let's see, he's going to get down Big Charm, and he's going to pass. I actually don't know if I agree with the attachment on the Goodra. I actually think I would have liked to have seen him hard retreat into the Comfy. But we'll see. Maybe it'll work out in his favor still. So right out the gate here, I'm going to Evolution Incense, and I'm going to Quick Ball away the Gengar. So almost the exact same play I did in the first game there. Going to go for my Hisuian Zoroark V. Just debating, I guess, what do I actually want to do with this hand, though? If I'm not mistaken, I think I have double double turbo in hand, and I might not want to research away one. So I think if I remember right, I was contemplating, well, I could just save this hand. That way the second double turbo isn't wasted. But gonna get rid of the Hulucha, and looks like gonna get rid of a research. Okay, I think that's fine. So just gonna go for another Zoroark here. And like I said, I definitely could just save this hand for the next turn. I think there's merit to that. But also it's just one double turbo, so I might be able to afford to get rid of it here. And as you guys can see, I'm not like playing super aggressively here. I'm just trying to think, what do I actually want to do? Is this double turbo worth keeping? But here I'm going to use that ability on Gengar to get it back out of the discard, and I'm going to use that damage pump to move some of that damage around. So that tells me I might be going for the research then. If I'm going ahead and playing the damage pump, yeah. It looks like I am going to get rid of the double turbo energy, but I do run a copy of Roseanne's backup in this particular list, so I can always get that back if I do need it at some point. So let's see what I'm going to do with this hand. I do have a quick ball, so I could try to get down another Pokemon here. I do have Air Balloon, so I could even move the Bidoof and try to promote Gengar. That's an option too. Looks like I'm a little bit conflicted. I think I'm also just weighing, do I think Corey has a way to actually attack on this next turn? Because I have the Burrell in hand, so a part of me wants to make sure this Bidoof is safe. But I am going to retreat into the Zoroark with the Air Balloon. I can actually use the first attack on Hisuian Zoroark V. I don't think the math really matters too much, but I can do 30 for 0 energy and switch into a bench Pokemon. So just going to promote this Gengar. If it does get knocked out, no big deal. We can always just get that back out of the discard pile. And here, Corey is going to evolve that Goodra, go for the Colress's experiment. And let's see what he's actually going to be able to do here. Okay, so he's going to toss, looks like a Boss and a Water Energy. Okay. And actually, he might even be able to get... He actually might even be able to get a KO with the Cramorant. So he's going to use that ability on the Comfy. Okay, if he pitches away the Mirage Gate, I think he should be able to make this happen. Yeah, so what he can do, he can scoop up net, that Comfy, promote this one, and then he still has that Air Balloon in hand to be able to retreat back into the Cramorant and attack for free. So I think here he just tosses away that Comfy that's there. You want to keep that Mirage Gate. You don't need more than 2 Comfies. So actually not a bad turn for Corey here. So he's going to be able to, you know, get ahead in the prize exchange here. Alrighty, so just going to promote Bidoof here. Evolve him to Burrell. And here, I'm even thinking about maybe trying to go for that same play that I whiffed on the last turn, or in the last game, where I went for like a big aggressive boss play on Goodra and tried to use my V-Star power to draw into what I need for the KO. Like, I definitely could do that here if I so choose. And here you can see I'm thinking about it. Here, yeah, I'm eyeing down that boss's orders, putting that to the front of my hand. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is there a world where we knock out this Goodra? Like, the Goodra does have a big charm on it, so it has 300 HP effectively right now. And I will need Choice Belt if I do want to get this KO, because the double turbo energy is reducing my damage by 20. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a research. It looks like I am going all in on this play, but I want to make sure the Crobat was in deck before I committed to the boss. So that's what I'm doing here. But yeah, if I remember correctly, I do wind up still bossing this Goodra. Yeah. So again, just want to make sure Crobat was in deck before I fully committed to that play. So going to go ahead, get that Gengar back, it looks like. Okay, but I'm going to use the Evolution Incense first. May as well. Thin Zoroark out of deck makes sense. So I can actually still dig pretty aggressively without supporter guys. I have Crobat, our Burrell, and the V-Star power on Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. So even though I'm still short a good bit of damage right now, this could still wind up working out. So I'm going to go ahead and get Gengar back out of discard pile. And then I still have that damage pump in hand to be able to move those damage counters around. So it looks like I'm going to do that. I'm going to reduce, take 20 off Gengar, put 10 on the Burrell, then 10 on Crobat. Here you can see I'm a little bit conflicted about what I want to get down. I'm going to get rid of the Marnie here. Probably just thinking about something to discard with this, with the V-Star power here. Accidentally grabbed Gengar, can't grab Gengar with Evolution Incense. Thinking about maybe going for the Manaphy, but Manaphy's a card that I might actually want to use at some point, so I'm going to leave that in the deck. And it looks like I'm going to switch. So I'm just trying to play down my hand as much as possible for this Burrell here. So going to be able to get 3. So unfortunately, no Gape Jaw Bug. That's a card I just could not pronounce. But I do have another Gengar I can put in the discard, and that will allow me to get the last damage counter that I need here. So at this point, all I need is going to be Choice Belt. And I'm going to get this KO. And guys, this would be an absolutely massive tempo swing back in my favor. That's like, the game won't be over, but God, that would be absolutely devastating for Corey here. So I'm just going to go ahead, burn that V-Star power. I need Choice Belt. And like a boss, I ripped the Choice Belt. And you can see we were like losing it over ripping the belt as the last card of the V-Star power. So absolutely insane turn. Again, I did all of this turn without a draw supporters, which really shows you like how strong this sort of engine is for this Hisuian Zoroark deck. So at this point, if you're Corey, you're just like, what do you do? Now, like I said, it's not over for Corey because kind of like you saw at the end of game 1, Corey was about to have literally like 3 or 4 turns back to back where I couldn't knock out a Goodra. So he still can come back thanks to the tank ability of this Goodra. He just has to make sure he doesn't give up too many cheap prizes in the process. That's really the thing he needs to watch out for. So he's going to go ahead, use that Comfy's ability. Getting rid of Manaphy seems pretty good, but you can see he's really far behind on cards in the Lost Zone. And this is one reason I wasn't a big fan of him not hard retreating into Comfy on turn 1. He's a little bit behind on these Lost Zone targets. So he does have a Courses Experiment, which is good, but he's still not quite going to get there, unfortunately. He's still... Oh, well, he's actually kind of close to hitting the Mirage Gate. He might be able to make it happen here. Like, if he can get off an attack with this Goodra, that would definitely be absolutely massive. Or even if he just attacked with the Cramorant, that would also be good. But he is probably a little bit scared of another boss play. Because Goodra is... You know, Goodra's tanky, but only when it's attacking. Right now, it's still capped out at 270 HP. Okay, and there's going to be the Mirage Gate, guys. So he did manage to get there and get this Goodra powered up. The big thing he just needs now is going to be a switching card. That way he can actually start attacking. But I will say this, I am 2 bosses orders down. If I'm counting right. So there is a world where Corey might just retreat to Cramorant and get in the first hit on the Zoroark. I actually kind of like that play. And he hits the escape rope. Okay. So this is a good... I think this is a good turn to attack with the Cramorant, but he is going to go in with the Goodra here. This is still an okay play, but I think I would have liked him to have attacked with the Cramorant to take a knockout, and then next turn start using Fantina with Hisuian Goodra here. So I'm going to get down Manaphy with some damage counters down there. That way the Radiant Greninja actually can't knock out my Pokemon or damage my bench Pokemon. But yeah, good chance I'm not going to actually knock out this Goodra. I would need like an escape rope boss play if I wanted that to happen. And I don't think I'm quite that lucky. So I'm just going to Ultra Ball. Or no, it looks like I'm just going to Research. Okay, and I do have an escape rope, so I can force Goodra onto the bench and try to take some easy prizes that way. But honestly, I think this is a fine turn to actually attack into Goodra as well if I want to. Okay, and it looks like I do have another boss in deck. So I think my plan here is to try to draw into boss next turn and do an escape rope boss play to knock out this Goodra. So just trying to think, what route do I want to go with this hand? Again, guys, like I could play the escape rope to get an easy prize on one of his bench Pokemon, but I don't think that really inches me that much closer to winning. I think knocking out this Goodra VSTAR would pretty much seal up the game for me at this point. Here, I'm just checking how many cards Corey has in the Lost Zone, trying to see if I'm in danger of a Fantina coming down next turn. And yeah, it just seems like I'm going to go for the 2-shot here, start putting on some pressure to this Goodra. In case I can't get the escape rope boss play, I might just be able to 2-shot this Goodra. But one thing we haven't seen at this point in the game yet, Corey has not used that VSTAR power on Goodra, which really adds to this card's tank ability. You get to heal off all damage from your Goodra. So I'd be willing to bet we're going to see the VSTAR power. Well, I would like to see him use Fantina, but Fantina only is live when he has 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. I don't think he's quite there yet, if I'm just being honest. So we could even see maybe a Mirage Gate to maybe get some more energy on Greninja. I don't even know how much energy he has, though. Okay, so he will be able to power up this Greninja, which actually can be a relevant attacker. Not too much with the Manaphy in play, but still, it can do 90, and then the 200 from Goodra's main attack means that that sets up a 2-shot. But Corey's also in a weird spot where his deck is getting pretty low, and he probably can't use too many more cards that put cards into the Lost Zone, just because he might deck out if he does that. Definitely seems a little bit conflicted about what he wants to take, but he's going to get rid of those supporters, so he knows that he can't really draw too many more physical cards. That seems pretty good. He is going to play Lost Sweeper, so that is going to allow him to pitch away a card from his hand into the Lost Zone, then he can remove a Stadium or Pokemon Tool card. I imagine we'll probably see him remove the Choice Belt, though I don't know if it matters too much since his Big Charm is gone anyways. I think at this point, the Lost Sweeper, it's kind of inconsequential, but it is going to at least get him closer to that 10 card mark. And I think he's probably there if I had to guess. Again, I'm not sure the exact number of cards he has in the Lost Zone, but between that Colress and his Lost Sweeper, he should be over 10. But yeah, he is going to use that VSTAR power on the Goodra to heal off all that damage. Okay, it looks like he's contemplating getting down an Air Balloon. That's fine. I don't think it matters too much, but then he's just going to hit the Zoroark for 200. So at this point, I just need to hit boss. I have the escape rope in hand. And here you can see, I forgot to put that Choice Belt into the Lost Zone. Definitely needed to do that. Doesn't matter too much, I don't think, but yeah, I just need to hit boss this turn. And my deck is pretty thin at this point, so I don't think it's going to be that hard to actually get there. So going to attach, looks like a double turbo. Yeah, I can play down my hand pretty low at this point because I have an Ultra Ball. I have plenty of cards I can just immediately play down. So I'll be able to draw my whole deck with this Industrious Incisors ability on the barrel. Okay, it looks like I'm going to get rid of a Marnie and another Gapejaw Bog. That seems fine. Just double checking what I do have in deck, and I should be able to draw the whole thing at this point. And then I do have an Ordinary Rod to prevent myself from decking out as well. So just going to go for the escape rope play, draw that Bossasaurus that's in my deck, and I'll be able to bring that Goodra back up and take a KO, because unfortunately, whenever Goodra leaves the active spot, that minus 80 reduction also disappears along with it. And that's where Goodra can kind of, that's kind of where there are some cracks in its armor, so to speak. When your opponent can do stuff like escape rope boss or like cross switcher boss, stuff like that. And yeah, just going to take the knockout, and I don't think Corey can actually bring it back after that. And here you can see he's just going to scoop it up. In theory, maybe there's a world where you could try to deck me out, but I still had Roseanne's backup in my hand, so I could have gotten another handful of cards back in deck, which I had 2 prizes to take anyways. So unfortunately, Corey is going to take the L in this series, 0-2 to the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR deck. But either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed a look at these upcoming new archetypes. Definitely let me know down below in the comments section what you think about these decks. And if you want to see the full deck profiles and list for these, again, those will be down below in the description. But if you guys did enjoy today's content, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. Links to everything will be down below in the description. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.